Hi there, this is Kathy. I finally made it. Kathy Crow. This is the Crow Goddess. I'm sorry I'm late. But, of course, Facebook is... I didn't even get my light on yet today. Oh, my goodness. Facebook changed things again. Oh, I'm so tired of them. Anyhow, here we go. I don't even have time for a chit-chat today. I'm really sorry. But we are going... It took me so long to try... There my camera went again. Last week, it took me so long to get my camera to go down that I just thought, today I am just going to start on this little guy because it has just been really uncooperative and I'm not really sure why. It is, every time I go to spin the camera around so that it can actually be looking down like over my shoulder, it was last week, it just would not cooperate. And it took, boy, I don't know how long it took. I just know it took a long, long time. And it was a big project. So anyhow, I got it done this time with relative ease. Thank you for joining me. I do really appreciate it. I'm hoping that cord will stay up. I don't know if it will. I've got some really cute projects today. I'm not even going to do these. I'm just showing them to you because I want to have some fun with flowering tulips today. This is a really nice stamp set. It's going to carry over into the new catalog. So it's one that you would be able to buy now, and you also will be able to buy it when the new catalog comes out, which is always really good news. Why are you not? There we go. When we get a stamp set that we love, isn't it just painful when it's one that you're liking to use and you are using it and then it just disappears on you so quickly? Hi, Jewel. It's nice to see you. I just got my feed going over here in the corner so I can actually see people. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it when you guys share. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate that. Maybe if I say it again, you'll do it. If I say it often enough, that's the media's spin. If you say it often enough, people will believe it and do it, even though it's absolutely the opposite of what they would want or do. So anyway, the tulips are they're not really tricky to stamp, but the color combinations can be kind of weird. If you like Rembrandt tulips, you're going to really love this one. The Rembrandt tulips are the ones that have varied colors, and I think this stamp set does those best. So I've got a couple of different I threw away 2 versions, though, that I stamped out, and then thought, I can't really see, because I wanted to do red on red just to get your more standard type tulips, like your Darwinian ones. The Darwin tulips are those really big, fat, nice ones. And which, of course, being a Christian, I don't like the name, but other than that, it's a good tulip. So I want to stamp these on white, but these were stamped on, I believe, fresh freesia, but it could be purple posy. I don't know. I'm not going to use purple posy. We'll just see what happens. But anyhow, these are turning out to be really easy stamps to use, and I wasn't sure that I was even going to do a Facebook thing with tulips today, because until I actually stamp with them, how do you know whether it's going to be easy or not? You really can't know. All right, so as I said, we have the new catalog out. I'm not even going to show it to you. I could only show you the cover anyway. I have one stamp set that I've been playing with, and I won't even tell you what one it is. And I won't even tell you whether I like it or not yet. I guess I kind of gave myself away on that, because if I liked it, obviously I would tell you I liked it. So there you go. I'm not very clever sometimes. All right, so I am going to take what I need to do first of all, you've got all these nice dies too many to fit in on this one side, really. But I can't put my magnet sheet over that and cover that. I could, but I don't want to. Because these are photopolymer, you can see through them, which is wonderful. It means I can stamp. Like I can stamp my tulip petals because they have a couple of individual petals. You can just stamp those right where you want. So that's wonderful. But when you're storing it, you want to be able to see what the sentiments are. And even though you have to read it upside down, at least I can kind of see what they are. If I put my magnet over it, I can't read it here. They're clear. It's just too hard to read. So the images are one thing, but I need to see the sentiments. But boy, I need to cut some of my magnet stuff and try to get some little edge going here because I can't fit all of these on this one side. But it is nice. I'm not complaining. It's nice to have, this is a good problem. Nice to have all of the dies that I need. It cuts out all of the images, every single one. I do have to get a stitch circle out from another set to do this label, but other than that, I haven't figured out what this corner is. If anyone knows, tell me what that is. It's like a nice little corner, but it doesn't really go. I thought it was the stamens in there, and I think it is supposed to be, but they were way too long, like way too long. If it was a, you know, I don't know. I never had any tulips that had stamens that long, so I don't like those. But I just make my own. You don't have to stick with that. It has this really nice little... Hi, Andy. It's so nice to see you. How are you doing? We have actually a nice day today, which is good because we've had so much rain. I thought it was going to be, and it rained a lot last night, but I went down to the park. I went out on my deck a long time. Our bird seed is attracting cardinals, so that's been really nice that Jeff and I have been able to sit out and look at the cardinals. But oh man, today I had to... Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Oh, hi, Winds, Andy. Oh, and dust. Oh, I don't miss that. Oh boy, I'm so sorry. And no electricity in Electopia. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, thank you for tuning in. When you disappear, I'll know, but I'm hoping you don't and that your power comes back on, because it should. They should get out there and get it fixed pretty quick. I mean, good grief. The wind always does so much, wreaks so much havoc. Here, it's breezy, but it never is that windy. I suppose when a tornado hits, it will be. I haven't experienced that yet. But anyhow, this little die, I cut out a stitched circle. This is the size that I'm using to cut this out, but I cut out a Calypso Coral one just to have an extra laying around. And then I realized this is going to fit on here quite nicely, and it does. And I think it'll make a nice element on a card. I don't know if I'm using that today, but I just am tossing that idea out to you. If you have this set, that's one way you can use that die. It's so small that it's hard to fit onto a card, really, isn't it? All right, so I'm just getting these blocks out. I'm not even, maybe I should, because I am going to end up having to die cut everything. The only thing I cut in advance is I did go ahead and cut out a bunch of the skinny stems, because there's two stems that you get, two die stems. You have your fat one that you can actually stamp and cut out. But the big, tall, skinny one is the one I'm finding that I like the best. And it's just a skinny stem. There's no stamp that goes with it. So I do have some of those cut out in advance. You're right, Andy. The cardinals are a treat. There's so many of them here that I see them every day. It's just, I know that people here probably don't think they're that big a deal, but they are when you're not used to seeing, and you can see them because they're such a bright red. They're just really easy to spot when you're kind of blind like me. That's helpful. Now, one thing I need to do, and I haven't done it yet, is mark my stamps with numbers. You would think that it wouldn't be that hard, but it was for me. So this one goes with this one. This for me is number 1, and this one's going to be number 2. This is more of a fill, and this is more of your outline, although it also has fill. These are just petals. I didn't find that they actually filled the little bud at all. Maybe it does, and I don't do it right. This one can, but I didn't like the effect. It goes into the middle portion, so I don't think it really is. This is a standalone one, although you can use this one as a fill for the standalone. This one you could use too, but it's not going to look as good because this inner petal, you really don't want the outline, and this kind of does that too, but this one kind of goes here, and anyway. So you can use these together, but I'm not marking them because it really doesn't. it just kind of does. I think that those are, I don't know whether they are intended to be or not because I haven't watched any other demonstrators. There are other demonstrators that, you know, are just geniuses, it seems like, putting these things together. And Stampin' Up, when it's complicated, often they have done videos before to show what it looks like so that you're not struggling like that. But I didn't even look to see if they had any. I figured I'm going to just go ahead and struggle because sometimes my struggle comes up with something better that I like anyway than what it was supposed to be. So this is real red. I love red tulips. So I'm going to do one there. And these are going to get cut out with a die, so I don't really need to worry about. I probably don't need more than 2 of that kind. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to do 2 of... I'm not going to do the fill part. On these red ones, I'm actually going to color these. I'm not going to do the fill at all, but I am going to do the other buds. So this is the one that's like a side view version. And that one, I'm gonna, even though it's not stamping quite as strong there, I'm gonna leave that because I think that's going to actually be good for me in the long run. And then we're gonna also get the buds. I'm not gonna do any of the individual tulip petals. I'm just gonna do a couple of buds. All right, so the petals are nice, and I kind of played with them to make flowers and whatnot, but these are so pretty. I decided for my purposes, I'm probably not gonna bother doing that. All right, so that is that, and we're done with red. That's not the only color we're gonna do today. I do want to get out our polished pink because I do like this, although, shoot, I've already done so many of those. Let's save the polished pink for maybe this card. I don't know. I haven't done any yellow ones. Maybe let's do yellow. That's Pineapple Punch. And that's the color I want. So I don't know. Our yellows right now, so Saffron's gonna make a brownish tulip, and I am not gonna like that. How about if we go with an orange? I think that might be really nice. So let's grab out Calypso Coral, and then maybe that'll give me a chance to use this too, right? All right, so Calypso Coral, we'll do a set of tulips like that. I haven't done any in that. And this time we'll use the fill. Wait, let me make sure I'm using the correct one. Yes, this is the outline one. Okay, so I'm gonna use Calypso Coral straight on, first of all, with that outline. But then to get the fill, I want the same color. You could use another color and it would be very pretty, but I'm gonna make it easy on myself and stick with the same color just so that I don't have to worry about what color family I'm using. But I'm gonna stamp this off. Okay, so here's the fill. I'm gonna stamp off once, then I'm gonna do it again just to make sure that color's gonna be right. And it is, that's gonna be very pretty. So stamp it off. And then this one's really very easy to place. I'm gonna have to stand up though, so I can see right over it. But isn't that pretty? Oh, you're gonna love this. Stamp it off. If you haven't already been playing with it, I'm kind of late coming to this show. A lot of people have been using this one already, and I, you know, just was doing all kinds of other stuff. And I suspected this one was going to hang around, so I wasn't too worried about getting to it right away, because it's a really pretty one. And I'm so glad it is, because it has dies. We have really nice tulips, but I don't think the ones that I have are, I don't think they have dies. And dies just really make a difference. So let's do 2 of those in that Calypso Coral. They do have some really pretty orangey tulips out there. In fact, there are so many different hybrids of tulips. Oh, I don't know what color they don't have. I'm not sure. I think they have just about everything. They're really pretty. I do miss my tulips, but today when I was down at the park, I got my fill of tulips. They're just starting to come out, and they have some of those, oh, those are those lily ones with the little pointy tops. They're short, but they probably bloom earlier because they are short, so they're not the big, tall Darwin ones, but they are really pretty and colorful. There's not a ton out yet. I think they have more tulips, it looks like, in their white garden. All right, so I am going to use this one to fill these, okay, because I do want some of that fill color in there. So just make sure you stamp off. Turn this around, and then it's not going to really fit perfect in here. So actually, I thought it was that one, but I'm going to go with this one. I'm just kind of turning it to make sure that it kind of gets in there. Okay, it's not a perfect fit. Doesn't matter. I'm going to turn it again and do it this way, just to get a little bit more there. Do it again. There. Okay, then I don't have to color it, is the point. Some people, you know, don't like to color, and I actually do like to, but on the other hand, if I don't have to, that's not bad either. Okay, there we go. So that's that for that. And it doesn't, I'm going to just tell you right now, yeah, it has its own little, you can make a little flower with it if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary. There's just, you know, way too much fun with just the ones that are already formed. But if you do get, well, I am going to stamp a card where we're just stamping freehand right on the card that we're going to cut out, like this one. And when you do that, it's kind of nice to have those extra petals to sort of fix any flubs that might come along. Now, I am going to use this little individual petal to try to fill in this one, okay? So we'll just stamp again, stamp it off, and then I'm just doing the fill. It didn't do it right there enough, so let me go over it again. Why is it not? There we go. All right, and I'm not leaving it just at that, maybe, but actually that white is kind of pretty, so you can. So I'm going to think about it. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my phrase with Calypso Coral, and then we might as well get the red one out too. Did I leave real red out? Yes, I did. This is a really nice sentiment. Yeah, thank you. You know, you are so thoughtful. You are so thoughtful thing. I really like this. And the circle thing's always cool. They're easy to put on a card. You don't have to worry about placement so much when you're working with a circle sentiment. It's just much easier to kind of just slap on there anywhere you want. All right, so that's the flowers. Let's go ahead and color these while we're here, because I am gonna use pale papaya, if I can find you. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So let's grab out our dark pale papaya, and I'm gonna check it and see. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's what I want. I'm gonna just... Now, Andy, if you're still with us, you asked once about the flicking technique. In this case, I'm using that, which is not, I wouldn't call it flicking, but you can, I guess somebody calls it that. Either start at the bottom and flick up, or start at the bottom or top and flick down. Doesn't matter. It just is depending which way you want the stronger part of your ink. Where you stick your pen down initially, it's going to be slightly darker, and where you lift up at the end, it's going to be lighter. So in that case, I would start at the bottom of a flower and flick up. The problem is that it's going out, which in this case, since it's a die that's going to cut it out, it doesn't really matter. But if I was coloring this on paper, you know, and that I was going to just need it to be nice and neat, I'd have to flick down, because starting at the top and down, you have more control over getting it off, just because you can see it. So you start at the top and flick down, and you're going to get it up before it goes out of the line. I'm sure experts can do that without having to, you know, fuss so much about it. But for those of us who are not experts, that's just what I found. If you're flicking down towards you, then you're going to pick it up, and it's not going to... It's not going to go out of your lines so much. And again, the only reason you do this is just to try to keep your ink light on the paper. If you're coloring like this, going color, 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 it gets dark. And in this case, I want these petals to be nice and light in color. And that's not the color I want, actually. I want something a little more vibrant than that. And I don't know if I'm going to get what I want. Let's try some pumpkin pie and see if I can get a little more orange in here, just a little. I don't mind if it has a few little extra veins, if I can just get a little more orange in there. Because have you seen those flame tulips? I think they're called flame. They are bright orange and red and yellow. They're very pretty, though. What I'm describing doesn't sound nearly as pretty as what they actually are. So this is just okay. But in the cards that I'm going to put on Pinterest that are this color, actually, here they are right here. This is a nice vibrant orange. And that's actually what I wanted here. But I don't think that I have a Stampin' Up! Pen to get that color. This is, let's see, if I have some Poppy Parade, we'll try it and see what happens. Let me grab out my pale papaya again, and we'll get some dark Poppy Parade. And we'll see if that ink will give me some of the color that I'm looking for here. Now I'm just kind of coloring over what's there, because I'm going to blend this ink in. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get a color that I got from one pen color earlier. So anyway, there you go. Now I'm just going to go like that, because I'm trying to blend. It's not working. Yeah, I kind of figured you weren't going to. I was hoping, but you're not. Okay, so you can see what I've done, and I'm not happy with that, especially with this little guy right there. It's just try to blend you out. These pens are, you know, expensive enough that you don't want to be doing a ton of coloring over and over and over just for blending purposes. If you want to do that, it's easier for you to use your ink pad and do that. I could do that, actually. Let's grab a dauber and see what happens with that. I'm going to get a color we haven't had in a while. This one is called Tangerine Tango, and it's very, very orangey. Let's see what happens when we put you on here. Right where I've got a little flub, mainly. I'm kind of liking that, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. If it goes into the center some, that's going to be fine too. Now you could probably find any other kind of ink pad that you have that's an orange and get the same effect. And I needed a dauber anyway because I need that center to be, actually I kind of wanted it to be yellow. I think I have a yellow dauber right handy. Let's grab it and see what we've got. You could leave it white. Some of these tulips, they actually have a white center, but I'm going to go with my yellow that's already inked up. And we'll just do that. I want that there and there. Okay, there we go. Now this is what I'm doing for my stamens. I'm not gonna, I'm not going to pretend that this is how they actually look. But a lot of these tulips have a little dark blotch in the center, and I'm just using a gel pen to give that. Okay. And it has sparklies in it. I'd actually probably rather get a black one that doesn't, but it just happens to be the one that I'm grabbing. Okay, so there's your little black splotch in the middle. You only need it on those tulips. And then also the stamens themselves are yellow to orange, and I don't have that. My orange doesn't really cut it. I've got orange and I've got yellow, but they don't really show strong enough, see? So that's not working. You could use a painty pen if you have a painty pen. I don't. This is just a Crayola gold metallic paint pen. And I'm gonna do my little stamens right with that. Okay, there you go. You can't probably see those all that much, but they're there. And then if you want to make it more accented, find a pen that you're actually going to be able to see. This is like a brown, but it's kind of going with my gold. So it would help a little if I wanted to do that. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, so that's what I'm doing for my stamens. I just like that effect a little bit better for your center. And then I'm going to cut those out. Before I cut those out, so I think I need to just cut everything out in one go, let's see what we can come up with. This is an old grapefruit grove. You could find you could do a pink, you know, or something, but I'm gonna just stick with this just because it was laying on my desk. And I really liked Grapefruit Grove. It was one of my favorites. And that we could do with polished pink, but I do think magenta is probably gonna be better. Now, all of these are our retiring colors. You'd better get in there and get them if you want them. They're going to be gone, and magenta is a very dark, dark one. You're going to like it. So I am not probably going to need the fill. I'm going to just use the ink on there because I want that orange to show up. So I don't need any of the fill. If you did do any of it, you'd want to stamp it off. Let's see what it would look like if I do one stamped off. I haven't, because I'm playing. I haven't done these yet. It's not bad. Maybe we'll do the other one too so that they at least match. And then I won't, oops. There we go. Isn't that forgiving? It's very nice. I kind of did it again, and it fixed it. Just like a little miracle. All right, and then we'll do the other bud. Strong. So if you do it right on colored paper, the color of the background that you want, this is actually what I probably would have liked for my pen color. If I had had a blending pen that was Grapefruit Grove, I would have been set, but I don't. I don't think they were doing blending pens when Grapefruit Grove was put out. Oops, I forgot to do the fill part. I need to do that. Hope you guys are getting yourselves all ready for Easter. It's sure coming fast. All right, do that. There. It's going down a little bit, and I'm kind of rushing here and just using that same one. I don't need it for this part. I don't think I'm ready for Easter. I know I got some candy, but I didn't get, I need to go on our church's website and see when their Easter egg hunt actually goes. A lot of the churches here are doing them on Saturday, and I think ours is, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I kind of need to know. All right, so that's that. Now, your center, again, you're going to want to get your pen and do your center. Let's see if our yellow will show up here on this. Kind of does, but not much. Some of my gel pens are almost like a fluorescent kind of thing, so you have to be careful. You do not want fluorescent. Oops, I do want that center to be yellow before I do anything like that. I'm going to need to ink this up again. Now, this is Pineapple Punch. You can see I've inked it quite a bit because I did have one ink bottle of Pineapple Punch. I'm so glad that I did because that one expired a long time ago. They took Pineapple Punch away I don't know how long ago. It's one of my favorites. All right, now that my center is yellow, I can put in my little black. Now, not all tulips have this black center, but the ones that are usually full open, that have this kind of petal shape, they usually do. And this is one of those you push it down and there we go. Get out just a little extra down there. Okay, there we go. All right, very good. And that is that flower. Now I'm going to use Garden Green to do the stem and the leaves. There's 2 leaves. Okay, there's a big one and a small one, and then there's the one fat stem. And then I'll just find garden green for the same color. You can see where I cut out my stems. All right, so I'm gonna need several of these. Oops, I just lost something off my desk. Oh, it was my sentiment stamps. Now if it's, not looking dark enough, you could go with a darker ink, but I think I'm fine. I don't know how many I'm gonna need. Let's see. I'm not sure how many cards. I'm only gonna probably get one really put together, in which case I'll probably need 4. But let's go ahead and just stamp them because I'm gonna have to cut them out and put them together anyway. This is a pretty close to the color of your tulip foliage, unless you have variegated ones. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 cards worth, and I think that's about what I've got. Now that is, I might not need all of those. Here's the little one. I'm not using the little one quite as much as the bigger one. A lot of leaves. But not coloring it, you're just stamping. You're not having to color them, so that does save quite a bit of time. I'm doing a lot just to be sure that I've got plenty. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. That's plenty. All right, and then I don't even know if I need to get out my stem. The fat stem's pretty fat. If you want one that's standing up on a dimensional, then you'll definitely want to stamp your stem. It does have a place to kind of hold the flower too. So if you're wanting to show the base of it where it's attaching to the flower, you're going to want these stems. But I, again, preferred to just use the other ones anyway. So I'm not going to stamp a ton of those. And I'll probably only cut out a couple of them. All right, so now we'll put away all of my little stems. When you put your stuff in, make sure you don't torque it different than it actually is shaped, because these photopolymers might actually just stay that way if you haven't don't get into it for a long time. All right, now I'm gonna need to put my camera up some so that we can cut these out. Now this is what your die border looks like with the tulips, and then I just took my scissors and cut the bottom. Could be a straight bottom if you wanted. And that's very pretty to use. We're gonna do these first of all. All right, so there's that one and that one. And that one. We'll see if my board will cooperate with me. No, it's not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it won't. Usually if the magnet's that close together, it won't. Oh, come now. Magnet. Let's see if I can get a bud in there. Nope. If your magnet is fighting you, don't even, just do it a couple of times instead of getting them all in there on one. Does that off? It looks like that one's off. Hold on. Nope, you're just fighting me. Never mind. And I'm kind of off the board anyway. Let's try this again. There we go. Did you see it jump? So as soon as you put one on there, the attraction just all shifts, and it's pretty entertaining, but not so much when you're trying to do it quickly. But when I'm just playing around on my own, it's kind of entertaining to watch your magnet play with each other. Like they, you know, it's too stupid to realize, yeah, I just want. Now, if you've got an edge like this and you don't like it, you can always just cut it off. It's not necessary, but sometimes I don't really want that much of a border. And it's just because it got a little close there. Maybe if I got a flatter plate, I would be having less trouble. Wait, wait, wait. Which way are you going? There we go, like that. For some reason, I appear to be off a little. There we go, there we go. That's how it goes. Oh, this is a little time consuming, and I could have cut them out ahead of time, but I wanted to show you how I stamped it. Okay, you're not cooperating, so we are going to go like this. Maybe, let me grab another plate. Sorry about that. Okay, put this plate on there. That is going to help quite a lot. And then we can get more of these maybe cut out. Nope, you're still just not wanting to, you're not wanting to go where I want you to go. There we go. Oop, there we go. You can tape them, it's true, and then you're going to get them exactly where you want, but I prefer to just play with it. Struggle. Okay, why? There you go. When I went over the lines there a bit, it kind of was confusing to me where that die should go. Oops, did you see how that shifted? Sheesh. All right, that bit is done. So, you know, these kind of layered flower things, they are time consuming. I know they are, but they really are worth it. Let's grab the big one out here. Will you go there? Maybe. Maybe, maybe. Not there, maybe there. If you can cut more than one out at a time, it sure does go a lot faster. No. There we go. Get it in there quick. I saw one shifted as I did it, that one. That looks pretty good. It saves you time from you cutting it. I mean, there are times when I get a die that I think I can hand cut this faster than it's going to take me to cut a whole bunch of you out. But that's very rarely true. And I do have a cutting machine, but the cutting machine does not make as nice a cut. It's good for what it is, but it's just not, doesn't indent, doesn't kind of give you a nice beveled edge. So I definitely prefer my die cuts. When you don't really need that and you're just doing a big shape, then the cutting machine is good for that. All right, let's see here. There you go. You're staying on there nicely. Thank you. And that you too. Let's try one more. Maybe. Oh ho. Nice. Stay. All right, there we go. Our grandkids were giving us some pretty good knock jokes the other night, and I remember when I was elementary paraeducator hearing a lot of kids knock jokes. They can be pretty clever with their own little creations of them. I know when you're the parent, you get awfully tired of that, but when you're not the parent, it's, you know, your plates do warp. It doesn't hurt to flop it over fairly regularly, and then that will help some. Okay, I'm at the point now, it's magnetized better in the center than on the edges. It's actually magnetized all the way around. That is not a Stampin' Up! Plate, by the way. But I don't think Stampin' Up! Has a magnetized one. I wish they did, because I suspect theirs would be a higher quality one. So maybe they'll come up with one. That would be great. But until they do, I'm using this one. Magnet, you're just not cooperating with me. That corner's out, so I can't place it there. Now they do have larger cutting machines than this. I mean, like not Stampin' Up! Brand, but they do have larger ones that have a bigger base. But generally you don't need anything bigger than this 6 inches. That's what this is, this width. And when you go with a larger size, it's like super not portable. I mean, like not at all. So, and portable, I don't even, you just saw me lift it from one place to another. I don't keep this, you know, like right on the edge of my desk. I do have it on a little table over there that I can do, so I don't move it around every day, but when I'm doing this, I have to move it here, because it's a lot easier for me to move this than to move that stupid camera. If the camera was not so fussy. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready for the little buds. They are so cute. One more. And then let me cut these out. So these are our stitched shapes. Those I think these are going to be in the new catalog, but they also are going to have other shapes, and they also are, they're not stitched. They've got little dots around them, I believe, and they are variety of shapes. That might be the new stitched shape. It's not called stitched shapes. It'll be called something else. I'm not sure what. So if you like these stitched shapes, and if they are still available, you probably ought to be getting it quick. Right now, everything is being discontinued, and it's by your purchases are as long as the product lasts on so many items. So right now, this is the time of year that if there's anything in the catalog that you really like a lot, unless you know that it's going to be carried over, just assume it's not going to be and get it before it's totally gone. I don't know how many things I've wished I'd bought, but I didn't. Okay, so here's our stem. There is a top to the stem. And where did I put my leaf dies? I must have got it out of its container, because I don't see them in there, so I'll have to move this and find them. Where did I put them? Oh, come now. Where did I put you, leaf dies? You can't have gone far. Oh my goodness, why did I get them out is the question. I don't know. I must have gotten them out to show you, but then what did I do with them when I got them out? Oh, they are right here. I just didn't see them. They were kind of laying on top. Okay. All right. Scared myself. Okay, here we go. So this one, these are hard to stick on here to stay. Might end up having to tape those. Those are pretty tough. And then I'm not using the big one right now, just this little one. Oops, not that way. Nope, you're not gonna stay, are you? Because you're just too close to the edge. There we go. Oh, for heaven's sake. This is my plate right here. That would be why its magnet wasn't sticking. I had two plates going there. Actually, the magnet was working pretty good through two plates. Maybe even better than it is now through the one. When it gets like this, it's like, oh, seriously, I think I can just cut it faster than I'm gonna do all of this. Okay. Don't move. I am not going to spend all this time cutting those. I know that will drive you nuts. So there you go. It's nice. Your little stem shows really nicely too in, you know, where you stamped it. So it's definitely worth doing a few of those. I'm going to just set that aside for now, but let me get, where's my big ones? I do want to get the big ones through. Couple of those anyway. They're very cute. If a leaf can be cute, these are cute. See how it has this beveled, nice little beveled edge? Oh, I love that. Yeah, the things that, I'm a plant freak, okay? So that's partly why I get all excited about these things, because it's just these little details that make things delightful. They're not just, it's the difference between a Warner Brothers cartoon and a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. All right. And if you're as old as I am, or even close to it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're not, you don't have a clue, probably. All right, so let me get rid of my extra plates on the side and make sure I put my dies away. I don't want to lose them. They're kind of just hanging loose here, so we'll just leave that. All right, so for this card, let's start with these first, because these are the ones I really liked when I stamped those out. We've got the ones that I've colored and the ones that were just Calypso Coral. They kind of turned out very similar in coloring. Let's keep these groups together. So that one's there, that one's there. Okay, so for this one, what I'd like to do, I've got to get some black out, and I want to take my black cardstock, because isn't this going to be pretty on there? But I do need this to be cut and embossed, of course, as well. So let's get these off again. But at least they're grouped properly now. And cut this into a shape that I can use. Let's do 4 1/4 here. And did you know that we've got this really nice edge die? It's very pretty in our Basic Borders die. I don't know if this Basic Borders die, what did it come with? Oh, I wrote it down. It came with the pinned flowers set. It has this really nice scallop with a stitched edge. It's so cute. So this is the edge I want to put on it. Let's go ahead and cut the edge first. Okay, so we'll get the edge cut, and then I'm going to put that right on the edge. It's not cooperating. There we go. And then we'll emboss this with our a retired embossing folder that I never used up as much as I wanted to. It's next to our old basket weave one. That was one of my favorites. This one also is one of my favorites that I just don't use it as often as I'd like to. Where are you? No, you're not the lace. There it is. Coastal Weave. Coastal Weave. This is an old one. Very pretty. Now, this will be longer than what I'm going to end up using. And I'm going to actually leave my little scallop out of it. And I need my other plates. Okay, now this is a plate that comes with your machine. You can use it to cut on with a cutting plate under it, but it is not magnetized, so that's why I'm not using it. I just use it for my embossing ones. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Feels nice too. All right. So what we're going to do is put on the flowers. And let's start with this one. We're just going to stick them on however you think they look good. Again, if you don't like your white edge, go ahead and cut it off. This would look good on here too. but I'm kind of preferring that white edge. And one bud. Yeah, we want the bud up. Okay, like this. Just stick it on, you know, don't worry about it too much. And then when you put your stems on, you might figure out how you want them placed a little differently. You can, these skinny ones you can turn either way so that you've got a, and obviously you can shorten them up. Sticky. Not sticky. Oh, come on. You do want to kind of stick your stems on before you start attaching everything, because, you know, the leaves and everything, it kind of all goes together. I need another one here, and I want it underneath. You're curved. You're curved in a way that's making life tough on me. Okay, there's that one. That one could have a fat one, but I'm not even going to worry about it yet. You can see I haven't even used that fat one. There's one nice large leaf. Here's another one. They can go either way, but it actually is supposed to go this way. Let's stick you there like that. And now one of our littler ones. No, that's a big one. I only cut out one little one, didn't I? Okay, one little one. We're still going to probably need one more, like right in here. Okay, this is kind of long, so I don't really need it to be this long, but I'll just shift it all up a bit. If you feel like, yeah, it's just too much, we're going to take some of it off. Just do it. Let's do the fat one here. Let's get, no, that one's got to have a skinny one on it. No, not liking that. Okay, there we go. All right, I know it's not quite complete, but this is close, and it's close enough, and that's what we're living with. So now once you get that on there, anywhere even near to what you can live with, as you start putting all of your dimensionals on and getting them stuck down, it's all going to come together nicely. We'll start with the flowers first. Okay, do a little trim. Don't stick it on your stem. Those need to go at the end. I know you're thinking, why even bother with the dye if you're going to do that? Well, I had more hope that I was going to do better with the dye, but I didn't. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it works out and I don't have to do this cutting, but not today. Okay, now I can't stick this on until I've got at least a couple of stems going here. So let's pull these off. Grab your glue. That one actually, the fatter end is supposed to be in the ground. Oop. I've got glue on there, so we're sticking with that spot. Okay. There we go. where you get your glue on. That's where you're going to have to just stick it. That one needs to be different. I'm going to have to go this direction on that one. Tuck it under. Because I need the curve obviously going that way. All right, now we can stick on another flower. Like here. Tuck it under, if you can get it tucked. There we go. And one more there. That one, no. I didn't use the fat one. Oops, I need it to go this way. I do wish they had included a skinny stem that was going the opposite way. You can cut it, you know. I mean, since it's not stamped, it doesn't really matter. You can do it either direction, but it would have been handy for me to have the skinnier end, you know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, let's see. I do want my sentiment to go here, so we really didn't end up needing that one. And then when you stick on your leaves, it should tie it all together, kind of. So it's going to go like that. Let's grab another large one here. That's pretty good. We'll probably want to have one more somewhere. I'm going to stick this leaf up here like this. Like that. Okay, so again, you're just placing to get it kind of where you want it. And you could put it on dimensionals or you can glue them on. It doesn't really matter. Let's see, let's do the short one. Maybe like that. No, I'm not going to like that. That one I'm going to like there, that one there. Down at the park today, they had a flowering, it was a purple Daphne. I'd never seen one like that. It was beautiful. Like so many of the Daphnes, it had no scent. The original Daphne has a very strong scent. It's wonderful. It's white. This one was purple. So as soon as I saw it was purple, I thought, oh, that is so beautiful and pretty. Oh, I bet it's neat. And then I realized, I bet it won't have a scent. I went over there, sure enough, no scent at all. It's like, seriously, I'm never going to plant a plant that doesn't have... No, that's not true, but, you know, it almost is. Like, if it doesn't have a scent, what's its point? Okay, and now this little guy can go in here, I bet, very nicely. And then we can take one of our tags, the one that was Calypso Coral, and stick that in too. With that, doesn't that look cute? I do think the little squares go along nicely with that coastal one, but our old basket weave one would look really good with that too. But it's crying out for a ribbon across. So let's grab a nice, I'm going to grab a skinnier ribbon here. Rather than a big fat one. I'm going to stick this one down. We'll put the ribbon right over it. We'll save that one. I better trim the end off before I get my ribbon on there. Right. I ended up using that whole length. I love this color, and I did have at our place in Richland. I did have tulips that were this. I don't remember what they were called, and I don't really even remember. Do I have enough ribbon to go 2 times? I might. I cut a pretty big piece here. I do. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take a bit more here. Let's get it where I need it. The Rembrandt ones, if you're in a happy place, they are long-lasting, much more so than I expected them to be. All right, very cute. I'll need to trim off my flubbed cut there. There we go. This one's a little long. Let's do you too. Okay, there we go. Now let's make those ends a little longer and that bow a tiny bit smaller. Very good, very good. And now for our final little sentiment. Isn't that cute? We can just glue this one and get it on the back of another piece of coral Calypso, and then this one will be done. Down a little bit there. Let's get our ribbon off of that scallop. There we go. That up a little like that. There we go. All right. I have my. This would be really pretty. My Grapefruit Grove. I'm going to grab another sheet of that. I bought an extra pack when that retired. I don't usually do that. I don't usually buy extra cardstock and ink of the things that are retiring because I want to buy stuff that you're going to be able to use, but, you know, buy and use. But Grapefruit Grove, this was just one of those colors that when it left, I knew I was going to want it a lot. I'd be very sorry that it was gone, so I did buy it. Oops, we've got a little hanger there. It looks like I could almost score that, but because it is a retired one and I can't replace it, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to keep that on the side. And put it on a white, I'll put that on a white card base. Now when you emboss, you definitely want a nice, good, strong glue when you're attaching that, because that embossed surface is very rough. It doesn't even matter how much embossing there is. It's pretty rough, so it doesn't adhere as well. Unless you've got really good glue. Oh man, look at that. Love it. I do have a card. Where are you? I wonder if you're fast enough. I don't think you are. Let's see if you are. You're close, super close. I could trim it down. Ah, that'd be trimming it down too much. So I'll have to cut out. Oops, it's gonna go this way. I'll have to cut out another white base, but I'm not gonna do that. everybody knows how to do that. So there's that one. Let's do one more really quick because I wanted to use these. Well, I want to use it with this paper. This is, what paper was this? Is this the Tulip Field one? Oh, I meant to look and I forgot. And I'm not sure if I have another sheet of it. Let me look and see. If I do, I don't think I do. Oh, yeah, I do. There is another sheet of it. Oh, good. So I have plenty of it, but let's see what it is. This is, I have it in a different foil pack. It actually is the Flowering Tulips paper. So although the back is this, it's the Flowering Tulips DSP. But this is the side. I think it's one of my favorites in that whole pack. And let's see which ones are going to look best on here. Those are those. Boy, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe those. Hard to tell. But it's going to be super simple. I'm just going to grab my Calypso Coral, or I mean my Grapefruit Grove. It could also go really well with your So Saffron. This is almost exactly the dimensions I need. So I'm going to just stick with that card base and trim it just a little bit shorter. This will give me a little bit of use for my scrap. When you have little scraps like this, it's nice to be able to use them up. Okay, I made it too big, so let's see what that is. That's 4 inches, right? Let's go with 4 inches. It's a little longer. I don't think that's 5.5. It's actually almost 6. So this is just going to be a little bit off-sized. I kind of like doing that. That's still a little bit bigger border than I want, but we're going to go with it. All right, and I still want to use black on here, but we'll use a different edge. Let's try let's just cut it out with a die. That will give us something a little quicker to work with here. Let's see, what have we got? I don't want anything too flowery. What have we got? No, I know what I'd like to use. So. Aha, here it is. All right, there you go. So let's grab out the big scalloped contours. Is pretty big. It won't fit. We'll have to go down with the next size down, and I don't really want the cutout anyway. Okay, so that's pretty good. Cut that out. I'm going to just cut it on the sides because that way I don't have to drag out this whole machine over here. Got everything all over the place here. So there's our little scalloped piece right there. Glue that on. We're going to have our grandkids coming and visiting, and I am so excited about that. That is going to be a blast. There are so many fun things to do here in Springfield. I've made a big list. There's a new cave that's opened up. Hasn't been open for 10 years. And So we were going to take him to the Fantastic Caverns, which is a nice little train ride into it. Well, that's not a train ride. It's, my husband reminded me when I said that, it's actually like a tractor pull. It's not all that, you know. I liked it. It was fun. But, yeah, I don't know. We might not do the tractor pull one. We might do the other cave instead that we haven't seen yet. We'll figure it out. Okay, there's that. There's that. I'm kind of mixing and matching. I don't know that I do want to do that. And there's these two that we did. Let's try that. See what I think. I think those are too light. I'm going to want to do something different colors with those. I need some more yellow in there, and that's what I got with that. That's not quite as good. Okay, there we go. Oh, my stems, I forgot. I have to get stems going in here. Yeah, it doesn't really match, so we'll have to take that out. Let me put that one in. There we go. For some reason, my stamens are not, I'm not liking those. I'm not really sure why. But I'm not. Let's see. They look stiff. They should curve a little more, maybe. They look like rays of sun or something. Once you've got that ink on there, it's not easy to go over it. It's kind of not cooperating with me. All right, I'm gonna have to do different because those aren't cooperating at all. So we'll just go ahead and use these anyway. I could color it. There we go. How about if I do that? If I did that, then I think it would be all set. I'm going to grab I am going to color it, and I'm going to color it with the pen that I wanted to use in the first place. All right, so just avert your eyes while I find it. 100% sure which color it was. Not that one. I think it was this one. Well, let's give it a go and see. Ah, yeah, that's very nice. Very, very orangey. That's what I wanted, something a bit more orange in there. I'm trying to leave some of that white because I don't want it to be like solid. But if you're going to put more color in, put it down at the base. Not at the top. Okay. I'm having a hard time picking those up. That one's fine. In fact, I'm going to use that one instead of this one. All right, I think that's adequate. think we want, we could, oh, I've already glued it on. We could go this direction. Let's see what happens if I do that. That, and that. I'm not sure if I like that one as well as that one. Does it matter? Probably not. I think I'm liking this direction better, and it also means I'm not going to have to cut out quite so many stems, because I'm going to cut this one like this and use this one here, and we'll use maybe this one here. And I do have a big fat one laying here somewhere that I didn't use before. Where did you go? There you are. We could use that one on that one. Like that. And then that means I only need to cut out one stem. Grab my stem. Oops, not cooperating. That magnet just does not like to cooperate on the side. Just fine if I'm not trying to do it on this side. There we go. All right, then that is that, and then we just need a couple of our leaves. If I can get them to cut out nicely. It'd be nice if they would. Come on. All right, finally got a couple of them anyway. So we'll get one like here and here. And I might not do a ton, maybe one more. This time I'm going to just cut you out really quickly here. So I think I only need one little one, and I don't really want all those extra spaces. Aha, yeah, perfect. All right, so remember, you're just gonna use your dimensionals, stick down your flowers first, except for the ones that are gonna be on the bottom, that you're gonna have to put a stem under. So we'll remove that one. Get our stems going here. That one's going with that little one. This one can go with this one. one can go with that one, maybe. No, it's got to go with this one because it needs to be, this one has to go this way. That top is so obvious. The only way to fix that really is to just clip it off or stick it underneath, and then it doesn't matter so much, but you can't. Hey, Will, how are you? That's okay. It's been a very quiet day for me. There were a bunch of people on earlier, but I'm not really sure who is available. Apparently, there is a big windstorm in the Tri-Cities this moment, and Eltopia is out of power, or was at any rate. So I bet you don't miss all of that wind. I don't think you guys get nearly as much. You get more than we do where you are, but not nearly as much as you did in the Tri-Cities, that's for sure. All right, so I'm gonna put that little one right there. Yeah, I'm kind of paranoid about the power going out in this house, only because down in the basement, that bathroom and the laundry room are on a sump pump, and so you can't use the bathroom down there when the power's out because it might flood. And it would if you did it, and probably be fine with one flush, but 2 flushes, you probably would have a flood. And I'm always afraid Dad's gonna forget. It's so funny that I worry about stupid things like that, but I do. All right, let's see. Do I want to? I know I'm gonna have these leaves all over the place, but I might just stick that stem there just to be sure, and not have as many leaves. Yeah, you're right, Will. Just about every place is a light breeze compared to the Tri-Cities. It's pretty windy there. Not something any of us missed when we moved away, I don't think. You'd have to be like a major kite flying for, I don't even know. Kites don't even work. When it's that windy, you can't even fly a kite. I'm not sure who would really like the wind that much that they would miss it, but I'm sure somebody does. Somebody, somewhere out there in the world. Let's see, that could go like that. I don't know, this one's pretty good. When I cut it, it just got off a tiny bit there. So let's do that. So is your rain still appearing in Boise, Will, or did you guys go out already? They were going to go out and run through the puddles in their brand new rain boots. Sounds like fun. Thankful. I had my big umbrella. I remembered to put it in the car, in the back of the car. So I had my big giant stadium umbrella, not that giant, but one of those really big ones that you can actually carry. And so I took it with me when I went down to the park this morning and carried it around, but I didn't need it. It hasn't rained anymore at all today. We might be done with the rain. All right, now I know I had another sentiment that I'd done. Where is it? I'm not seeing you. So, since I'm not, let's maybe try this one, Calypso Coral. We'll stick that on here somewhere. How about, actually a circle would be too big here anyway. Let's stick it like right there. This is going to have something white on with the actual sentiment on it, so I can go ahead and stick this on here. We'll skip the ribbon. and be done. This is from an old Stitched Shapes set that's been retired quite some time, but it's one of my favorites. Pretty stamp. Or a pretty die. Pretty die. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do? There is, it has to be one line. There is another Happy Mother's Day. I don't really need that one now. No one deserves a happier birthday than you is perfect, but I think it's too fat to fit in there. So let's do the love you so much, because if the so much doesn't fit, then I'll just cut it off. It might just get the love you on there. Let's see, there we go. Calypso Coral is the color that matches that old grapefruit grove really well. Too cold? Oh, okay. How about another day? Hopefully it will warm up a little, and then you can. And actually, you don't have to be out there very long doing it. It would be fun just to break in the boots. It better be waterproofed. All right. So because I can see right now that's going to be too fat, we're going to just cut off so much. And we're going to have to cut off our U somewhat too, because it won't fit. Barely. Barely, barely. It's a little funky. If I wanted to, I might actually, it's a little funky. Let's find another. I've got tons of stamp sets. I don't need to use that. And I've got a little itty bitty one. This one's called Love and Happiness. I think this is a new one in our new catalog, and I don't know if it's carrying over. It has tons of wedding and anniversary ones. And I don't do a lot of these anymore, but there is a congratulations and the Valentines, etc. But it's nice to have, I don't have a lot of wedding stamp sets. So to have one whole stamp set, just weddings and anniversaries, was nice. So I think I'm going to use one of these. Let's see. How about the You're Engaged? I don't think I get to... I don't do You're Engaged ones ever, so let's do that. That sounds like fun. Where is it? There it is. You're Engaged. Perfect. Perfect size. Here's to love and happiness. Now, it doesn't get any sweeter than that. How cute. All right. I think I have a punch that'll work, but let me look. You never know. Nope, that one's not wide enough. I don't want to do another. There, that's much better. Oh, Jewel, you are so funny. So, Jewel, I will send this to you. Sometimes it's nice to get a card. I'll put something else on it, though. All right. There we go. I am so glad that you enjoyed watching me struggle through these. But as you can see, even just struggling through it, it's not so bad. It's kind of fun. Just stamping and seeing what colors you get with the tulips is fun. This die is really nice. I used it on this card at the bottom like this, which it, you know, is okay. I kind of liked it, but all by itself on a card would be really nice. I do think this one all by itself with a sentiment and then with maybe a nice, you know, DSP that's matching. This one isn't quite, but it's close because this is Poppy Parade and this is Real Red. So it's kind of off a little, but still, I think that'd be really pretty all on its own. So anyhow, I am going to have to get going though. It is a busy day. I've got, we've got one bid in for our deck that needs to be redone. Wow, I can't believe the camera actually survived that. It's so funny, temperamental. So I'm glad it did. So we have one deck bid in, and I'm waiting for another one to come and look at it and tell us what it is. It's going to be terribly expensive, of course. I'm not sure when we'll be able to really do it, but oh well. That's the way it is. You just do what you can. And what is today? We still have one whole week and a half before Easter, so get ready for that. That's always a big fun event. And then the catalog, the new catalog will be open like right after that in May. I think it's May 3 that's open for everyone. I'll show you some of the things I get when I get them. They haven't come yet. And I'll show you that stamp set that is iffy to me in a bit. If you go on Pinterest, you'll see which one I'm talking about. It's on there. And let's see. I think that's it. Because all of our specials and sales, they've kind of taken a little bit of a break for now, and then they will be back. So if you are looking for a team, check us out. Wait until the next special though, and then I'd be happy to have you join us. It would be really fun. We do our team meetings are fun, and we always do a you know, a special craft on that one, and so it'd be great if you could join us. All right, have a wonderful week and warmer weather, I hope, or if it's hot where you are, cooler. Enjoy, and God bless. I'll see you next week. Bye.